What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be sitting down with Isabella from Ritz Momentum, and we're going to be chatting about Q4. We're going to be talking about some of the honest pains and struggles and what we've done in our businesses to be able to prepare and make it through Q4 in the most profitable and effective way possible. Joined, of course, with my co-host and one of the EBB Launchpad members, Brian Zabirik, as well. So guys, let's get into it. Let's talk about Q4. At the time of recording, we're actually in Q4. So tell me, what are some of the strategies that you've used in Q4? What are some of your experiences? Let's talk about it.
You know what I'll do is I'll start off with an interesting fact that I saw, and I think this is a given. Realistically, Q4 it's Christmas, it's holidays, it's Black Friday, it's Cyber Monday. Buyer intent is through the freaking roof when it comes to Q4, and if you're looking to increase your business, this is the time to do it. So one stat that I saw on Statista. I don't even know how to say that, but it was a specific Amazon report. And this was specifically in Q4 of last year, so 2022. It said that third-party sellers, so people like ourselves, people that source from China, people that are on the Amazon platform taking advantage of the system, sold 79% of their entire units. So whatever stock you had, you're almost selling completely out of that. And on top of that, they typically saw anywhere between a 30 to 50% sales increase. So, this is where we see the big months realistically. And this is where we increase our profit margins like crazy. On top of that, increase our rank like crazy on top of that. So it's just a beautiful time. But at the same time, even before this conversation, it is a painful time to say the least. So, out of the gates, I'll kind of share some learning experience. I've been selling on Amazon for 4 years now, and I still feel like I haven't cracked the Q4 code because for some reason, there's always some form of external factor that delays my inventory. So instead of me taking advantage of Q4 all the way from the beginning of October, it's usually at the beginning of November or even more so middle of November. So I get like a good 6-week sprint, and I can't even imagine what our businesses would be able to do if we were to get a full 3-month sprint at the end of the day. So currently facing that right now, actually. Inventory getting split up into different things, having to utilize 3PL stock sooner than later, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but there might be some stock in there like a week before Christmas. So hopefully it flies off the shelves.
The simplicity of cracking Q4, at least based on my experience. I'm not selling on Amazon forever, but I'm selling since 2015, and every single year, what's happening, your ACOS is going down. So when people are trying to increase their PPC spend, if you're being able to rank your product very well on a page 1, so if you already have a history and if you have already organic sales, your ACOS will be pretty low and you will have a huge TACOS. And this is something that is turning into the curse for a lot of people because they are getting excited like, oh, my ACOS now is like, I don't know, 8 or 15, and they're super happy about it. And then January 1st comes and the game is changing. So the simplicity is that you're ranked with your product prior Q4.
Yep.
And not just rank, but you're stabilizing your sales and you're having at least your like magical 20, 25 reviews. And as long as your conversion is good and your product is good, so the velocity of the sales is going up, this is where you will be able to save money on your advertisement and on your marketing. So generally speaking, if you're following the 3 main components is good product, good marketing, good traffic, you will be really performing very well during Q4 with the low amount of review. And on another side, if you didn't launch your product prior, this is where advantage is happening because if you're launching your product, and like I'm doing it every single year, I'm launching product during Q4 because you can gain the biggest amount of reviews and you're hitting honeymoon in the hottest period of time of the sales. So you're kind of doing double opt-in. So when it's a double entry and you took advantage of this without, like, I'm trying to do my Amazon and we'll see how it works. And here's also, I was seeing from like a lot of people when they've been coming to us and they said, I launched my product on Amazon. I made whatever, $60,000 in sales in Q4, and then I ran out of stock. And now I don't know what to do because I shipped my inventory back and now it's not selling at all. So you have to be very careful launching during Q4 because you can take advantage of it. And but you have to calculate the risk. Like Brian said, he's shipping his inventory to 3PL and to Amazon. So just calculate your stocks prior so you will not run out of inventory. But at the same time, when velocity will be going up, you have to track the records of the sales a year ago and the year before in a period of time after Q4, so you will not overstock your inventory. So it's just everything is the calculated risk.
100%. It's balance is really what it comes down to, because I've seen this before. We had a student that launched in Q4, launched a very giftable product, and he literally, his expected price when he wanted to launch was $25. During Q4, on top of that, with buyer intent being so high, you can also increase your price significantly and it'll still fly off the shelves. He got up to $45. So he increased his margin right out of the gates by $20 per unit. But with that being said, he was just, this was his very first launch. He was just raking in like, holy crap, bigger sales day, bigger sales day, bigger sales. He ended up doing 38K within his first 30 days, launched in Q4. Ran out of stock as he came into Q1, was out of stock for 2 months, and he could not revive his listing for the life of him. So for all the new sellers that are chiming in, I totally agree. Within the first couple weeks of launching a new product, you should be on your toes, ready to place an order if things are going well, because the worst thing that you can do is to run out of stock, even outside of Q4. But in Q4, we take advantage of the velocity. In Q1, buyer intent, yes, it goes down, but search volume also goes down. So I see advertising potentially going up, but also at the same time, not as much people are being aggressive in competition. You probably won't see nearly as much launches as you saw in Q4. So you can really find some good balance between the two for sure.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, and on my side of things, we're getting into, mostly we do wholesale selling, so we sell other people's brands. And so we've gotten into managing other brands on Amazon. So coming into that, they're obviously in a similar situation to private label sellers where they're the only sellers on their listing. And so for us, it's been a new dynamic because you don't have the ability to, if you run out of stock, rely on other sellers being on that listing to keep it going, to keep sales coming in, to keep the rank and all of these things. So we also had some actual manufacturing issues because they manufacture their own items in their facility here in Canada, and they weren't able to get some items out in time. We couldn't keep stock on 2 of their listings. So they're out of stock. They're currently out of stock, and they've totally just dropped off rank. So that's a massive point, is making sure, especially coming into Q4, that increased volume, that you're ready for it. The other side that we've seen, not in our account, but with some of our students and even this one brand that I'm actually talking about now, is restock limits. That's a big one as well, because we came on the platform with this brand. They've been selling for about 4 or 5 years. But mostly off of Amazon. So they have a big brand presence off of Amazon. So we came in, applied some great Amazon techniques, and over the past 3 months, we've been able to 1.5 to 2x their sales month over month over month. Well, because of that, we need to send in bigger and bigger shipments, but our restock limits are still waiting to catch up. So that's a piece of advice for anybody selling on Amazon coming into Q4, is you want to make sure that you have already sold on your account, that Amazon's learning how much inventory you're actually going through. That way, when you're in Q4, you're not going to run into those restock limits. And if you're in that situation where you are hard on restock limits, you really have 2 things you can do about it. One, have inventory like Brian in a 3PL, third-party warehouse, ready to go and make those smaller shipments very quickly into Amazon. Second thing is, of course, there's an auction feature where you can request additional capacity. You need to be about 2 weeks to a month in advance. You can actually bid on additional capacity. And then if you use that capacity and you're granted it, you'll be given a rebate or a credit toward what you've actually bid. So end of the day, it all works out, but you do have to utilize those restock limits. So that's one thing that Amazon has gotten more and more strict. I'm sure Isabella and Brian, you've both seen this over the last 3 to 4 years. This is a newer thing on the platform. And if you're not managing that well and you're not proving to Amazon that you can effectively and responsibly use their facilities, then you're actually penalized with limits that are going to hinder your ability to sell as much as you can. So another thing to absolutely watch out for.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. I think that's a lot of people neglect. Like it's your IPI and understanding, the metrics that it takes in order to continuously build that week over week. And if you're not doing this, especially going into Q4, because naturally speaking, your limits go down due to the fact that they prioritize the better selling SKUs. So it really goes back to that point that Isabella mentioned. You need to have a good product, good marketing, and good traffic at the end of the day. You need to make sure that all of those are working in a full cycle. And that way you're telling Amazon's algorithm that, hey, you are here to make them money. And ultimately, in turn, you're going to make money as well.
Yeah. And to the point about the suppliers, if somebody is having in the head to launch the product during Q4, you are not preparing your sample during Q4. You have to make sure your sample and your ready to the order are prepared somewhere in Q3, in the beginning of Q3. So in July, right? It's Q3. So in July, you are ready to place an order. And you're giving yourself a buffer, and you're talking to the manufacturer like, listen, I want to ship my inventory, for example, August 31st or September 15th. So you will be prepared and you have enough of time to hit this Q4 period of time. Because if you're preparing your sample, for example, in September, the chance that you will not be able to be on time is very high. Like out of I believe 10 new ASINs we were planning to launch this Q4, we launched only 6, in the process of launching just 6, because 4 of them we placed an order for the sample, ourselves included, right? So we're prioritizing our clients all the time. So sometimes we're lefting out ourselves. So we placed an order for the samples in September, and our factories told us, like, listen, the sample will take you like 31 days. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's usually 5 to 7 days. And like those products, they're just printed. And they're like, no, we cannot do it faster because we're overwhelmed and we're overloaded with the orders for Q4. And it's already at this point, it doesn't matter if you're a big seller for them or not, because they have a queue. So you have to rely on your time management and on the priorities, because unless you're Apple and you're owning your own manufacturer, you will not be priority for your factory, for your manufacturer.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Being proactive in any business and in life in general is going to allow you to win. Very similar to what you're talking about when it comes to rank. Like the key to winning in Q4, especially when things start to pick up, is to be ranked before the pickup, because when you're ranked before the pickup, you see that velocity increase, because it flips on a dime. Like I sell these custom gift boxes in one of our brands, and as you can imagine, they crush it in Q4. And literally, like last year, looking at the data using Helium 10, like November 7th is right when it just every single day it grows by like 5,000% or 5,000 search volume, 5,000 search volume. So my focus was to make sure that I'm ranked really well for some of the major keywords that I know I convert for. And that way, when I see that lift, we ultimately see a huge sales lift. And the benefit of that is when search volume is lower, it's easier to rank. It's easier to rank for those keywords. The CPR rate is significantly lower. So sales velocity to get to those top spots is much easier compared to doing it in the midst of the most demand that the year has to offer. So
also one important thing which we found super valuable when you'll be using Helium 10 or like whatever you use, Data Dive or maybe other software, and you're analyzing your product based on the keywords, sometimes you'll be able to find the Spanish keywords, and those keywords might have a pretty high search volume and zero title density. And if you're utilizing this, you will be number one. Sometimes it will be just you on a page, and the relevancy of your product to the keyword will be so high, so you can win the market as crazy, and you might not be even ranked to your relevant keywords for like English speaking keywords, but you will be ranked for Spanish keywords, and you can crush the market just like this. And it's not just Q4, it's like at any time of the year. But people are really scared to do that because they're like, but I'm selling on Amazon.com. But when you're looking at the statistics, I will not tell you. I think it's like 30% of United States people there talking, they're speaking Spanish, and they're literally doing search in Spanish. Maybe 20. Like it's a lot. It's still a lot of people, and some of the products, they're especially baby products. But by the way, they're having so huge keywords search volume in this language. So don't hesitate to do that.
Yeah. That's why I love using tools like Data Dive that really helps us understand, potential other avenues that we can take in terms of markets. So like for our product for Voyaj, we were on a call with Brandon, and he was doing a really deep dive analysis on it. And he saw a couple cool ways that we could position this product. One is obviously outside of the travel organizer. It's also using that travel organizer in your home, like a regular storage closet. But the other really cool niche that we saw was camping accessories and people using it for their campers. Technically still travel, very convenient, space saving. And because of that, it allows you to optimize your listing within any given time frame. So I imagine camping, a lot more people are probably doing that in in summertime, realistically, Q2, Q3, sometimes even Q4. So optimizing even in those periods, your entire listing to be more relevant for the market at that time.
At the same time, also to your point, Data Dive, they have AI insights, and technically we should discuss it probably outside of the podcast, but a little bit like my thoughts here. So maybe we should do different variations of the same product, because sometimes you're targeting different audiences, and it's very hard to communicate to the camper and talk in the language of camper when you're communicating to the business owner. So, and probably when you're doing the variations of the same product, it's like the Tylenol, right? Tylenol is Tylenol is acetaminophen, but when you're going to the store, it's headache relief, pain relief, headache relief, pain relief, back pain relief, and like severe relief, pain relief. So many pain reliefs, but when you're looking at the ingredients, it's the same acetaminophen. Just different dosage, and sometimes the dosage is the same, but people there will be purchasing this product because they have a back pain, and they will not buy the acetaminophen, which the same ingredient for the migraine, against migraine. They will buy the one that is like related their pain. So probably to go about it with the different target audiences, but the same product, different variations.
Yeah, exactly. And actually Brandon mentioned that as well, like having 3 separate, especially on launch, to be able to take advantage of those 3 markets, because one is for travel, one is for home. The ones that are crushing it in home is gray. So maybe we launch a gray variation, and then let's just say camping, maybe we make a camo variation, for example. Obviously there will be testing involved with that, but that way you can take advantage of different markets, and you're not just talking to 3 people in one listing. Which kind of leads me to my next point that I want to chat about is like, in Q4, there is a lot of like holiday gift keywords. So optimizing your listing for that, this is where I see a lot of success. Throwing a little ribbon on it so that it's a giftable product. Our gift boxes, we change the contents of our main image with giftable items, whether it be clothing or like stocking stuffers, things that are Christmas related, because the buyer intent just significantly increases and allows you to take advantage of other keywords that are more relevant to that. So main image especially is huge. Optimizing your title is huge, especially the first 100 characters. I know that you guys specialize in optimizing as well. So is there anything that you guys do as well, other than what I had mentioned, to kind of really take advantage of the Q4 season?
On the Q4, it's super like popular, and I am sure you guys do it too. We're optimizing ABC content for Christmas theme or holiday theme. And it pretty much doesn't matter if it's supplements, if it's pets, or if it's baby products. It doesn't matter, because people are in the mood, and when they're shopping, and like some niches like supplements, they're not having any like sales increase, but at the same time, people keep shopping for these products at any point. They still need skincare and supplements during the year, and the Q4 is not the exception here. So, but the conversion of those listings is going up just because you're matching people's mood.
Yes.
So yeah, it does make sense. It's just a little bit annoying for some people, especially if they're big sellers and they don't have VAs to change EBC content back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, especially when you're doing it on time. Like for example, October, I don't know, 31st, no, November 1st, or after the Halloween, right? So you're changing the theme, and then you're removing December 25th or December 26th. You don't have to to do it, but forget to change it back, because then holidays are over, and then it might hurt you because people will be shopping. They'll say, it's not holiday anymore. What the heck, you're having this listing? So yeah, theme things, they're so helpful, and we highly recommend to do that. And if you guys didn't do it yet, you still have time to proceed with that, because like today we're November 3rd. I don't know when the podcast will be released, but you have time to do that. And for example, if after these holidays we are having St. Valentine's, then St. Patrick and Mother, Father. So like you pretty much have holidays all year long, and the ones that are matching the most your products, just keep doing the themes. People loves it.
I agree. And they're minuscule changes that don't take a lot of time. You just need to execute them. But I agree. You need to be organized in doing it, or in doing so. The one cool thing that you can do as well on top of A+ content is actually adjust your storefront. So if you're brand registered, adjusting your storefront. The cool thing with storefronts is you can actually set a time period. So you can actually submit based off of when you want it to go live and when you want it to stop, and then it'll go back to your other one. So that allows you to really be more organized. But holidays and Christmas is the happiest time of the year. So if you can, again, I like what you said in terms of matching their energy and matching the happiness that they're feeling. If you can resonate more with them, they're going to feel more inclined to purchase from you. It's just a psychology thing is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, genuinely speaking, when it comes to the product research, to the product development, product selling, and like everything business related, you have to treat it as like basics of Freud, because everything like is based on the sexual energy. If you are ready to marry somebody and be friends with somebody, it's based on your emotions, attraction, and etc. So same things is happening when people want to purchase your product. Do they want to marry your product, or they don't want to marry your product? So did you match their expectations, and is it relevant or it's not relevant? So you're not buying every single one because like it's just out there. You want the biggest relevancy and matching features as possible. So that's pretty much like the basics that I think if every single person, if every single seller will be following, we will have high competition on Amazon. But
all right,
maybe a lot of people will listen to us. Maybe 1% will implement it.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing. Like, it's the people that take action realistically. I want everybody to take advantage of it by all means, but I'm not mad if they don't.
Yeah, me too. keep learning. Doesn't mean you're taking action. When guys, you're not taking actions, you're providing somebody else's advantages of you not taking action.
Yeah, 100%. I think another cool video that we could do together is a mindset video, how to approach business and things along those lines. I feel like we're all in that kind of self-help space, and we know that it's helped us become and evolve as much better entrepreneurs. So coming soon to a YouTube video near you.
Oh yeah. Well, I can tell you a lot of things about motivation. I actually was driving today to work, and I was thinking where I was 8 years ago, and I remembered how when we landed in the United States and how I lost money and like all this stuff. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you have to remind yourself how was it. And I decided that this weekend, so which means tomorrow, we're doing a trip. So I want to drive to the places where we've been living, how we've been struggling, what was happening, because sometimes you have to bring yourself back to realize where you were. And like we all like entrepreneurs, we are struggling with a lot of stuff. But the struggle that is happening when you're already at some level, it's a different struggle when you really try to like have $78 a day to survive. So it's like that was a struggle, and this is the struggle, but it's different type of the struggles.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting spoiled as entrepreneurs, but sometimes you have to remind yourself. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's about the mindset a little bit.
100%. Humble beginnings, to say the least.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was jam-packed with value.
Yeah.
Mike, you know what? I'm going to pass it over to you if you want to, close things off, and we'll make sure that we post this video as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, that was incredible. Thank you so much, Isabel, for coming on. Of course, Brian on here as well. Guys, if you are not subscribed yet, as you heard, we're going to have more videos coming your way with our amazing sponsors. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And if you found value in today's session, let us know down in the comment section, and then make sure you're liking this video as well. So we will come back at you with another podcast style video, as well as more videos with Ritz Momentum as the year progresses. Guys, happy selling in Q4, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.